Welcome to San Antonio, everyone. And for those of you who could make it, hopefully not too many of our colleagues will be stuck in transit. And hopefully you all had a good time at the Super Bowl social last night, for those who could make it, and enjoyed the Patriots' victory. For me, that's a good thing. For others, maybe less so. So I'm Tony Tauber. I'm the chair of the program committee. And we are the ones who put together the program for you all, and that's these folks here. So on behalf of them, I'd like to welcome you. Also on behalf of the hosts, and you'll hear more from them later. I'm going to tell you a little bit about the program, give you kind of the quick sketch of it, especially for those of you who are new, which is well over 100 this time, so hopefully this will help. Many of the old timers will already know this. So mainly we've got a couple different kinds of stuff. We've got general session, which is what you have here, where everyone's together in plenary format, mostly presentation followed by Q&A. We've got tracks, which are this afternoon and tomorrow morning, and then also Wednesday afternoon. Those are smaller usually, a little less formal, intimate, maybe more give and take with the audience. So you'll find those. Some of them will meet in here, some of them around the corner. I'll give you some detail on that in an upcoming slide. We've also got a welcome lunch today and a general lunch tomorrow. I mean, it's lunch either way, but one's the first day. Then we've got a newcomer lunch and a member breakfast. So the newcomer lunch is today. For all of those who are newcomers, you should have had an invitation. You'll be joined by some seasoned vets from the board and program committee to help introduce you to NANOG, try and help you get the most out of it, hear some about what you'd like to see and hear. And then there's social tonight, and then tomorrow we have what we call Beer and Gear, which is a kind of mini trade show floor. Mostly NANOG is a non-promotional event, but we have some sponsors that help with the costs, and so this is a time to be able to meet them and hear some of what they've got to show. The space, Salon E is Monday and Tuesday, the breakfast and lunch is just next door. You've probably already found it if you've eaten something today. There's also some room in the atrium that's on the second floor, and then on Wednesday there's a restaurant, if Betty's got me briefed correctly, that will feature the breakfast on Wednesday. Open seating where people, if people want to have meetings and so forth, which we know a lot of people come here to do, I'd like to suggest that you have them instead of just right outside the doors here. You don't have space and it gets kind of noisy. On the second floor in the atrium, we've set up some space for you and welcome you to do your business there. And we've also got live monitors for the webcast, right, Betty? So that you can sort of see what's going on if you're down there meeting with other folks. The general session obviously is in here, and as you can hear, we'd like to keep the doors open, or they open and close. So please, be quiet if you're right outside. Definitely be quiet if you're inside, because respectful to the presenters, that's kind of basic. For the sponsors and members, we've got a help desk sitting right outside. There's also a help desk set up by Aaron and staffed by Aaron folks. So if you've got questions about interacting with Aaron as a Aaron member, or prospective Aaron member, that's a great way to get your questions answered. The IETF is also set up a help desk, kind of a first, and you'll hear more about that from the first speaker after the introductory remarks. But that'll be a way to learn more about the IETF, the processes, and what goes on there, because they're anxious to get more involvement from all the operators. So the general session here is in Salon I, which is a nice big ballroom space. The breakout session, when you're not in here for the tracks, will be around the corner. Exit through those doors, take a left and kind of bend around the corner. And then Beer and Gear is back in Salon E, which is where the breakfast was next door. So it's a nice intimate space that we've got. We have a survey that we'd like, we like people to fill out. That's important for the program committee and the board and others who manage, try and help manage NANOG to get feedback from you all. So to help motivate you and get you excited about filling out the presentation survey or the different surveys, there's giveaways. So if you can take it online, there'll be prizes. One Tuesday for people who fill out the Monday surveys, one Wednesday morning for the Tuesday surveys, and one Wednesday after lunch for the Wednesday morning surveys. So I believe you have to be present to win it. Is that correct? Right. So so fill it out, put your contact information in, and your names will be drawn at random. And if you're here, you can win a great prize. And the microphones, so we have Q&A as an important part of the program too, and there's little reminders on each of the microphones, which are 2 in this aisle, 2 in that aisle, and they're basic stuff. Shouldn't be any surprise. Be respectful, ask a question, don't make a speech, that kind of thing. Also, be respectful to the other people in line. We'll probably also, in terms of in the interest of time, we may have to close the Q&A lines at some point. So please understand that if you have a question, come forward as soon as you think of it. And we also have an attendee charter that people might not be aware of, but it's also kind of basic stuff: respect other people, no fighting, no violence, other bad stuff. What other things am I missing? So, yeah, being professional. We're a professional organization, and we want to demonstrate that. And there are things that you can do that will be grounds for removal. Hopefully, you can think of them and steer clear of those behaviors very very easily. And with that, I think the basic introductory stuff's out of the way, and now I can hand it off to Josh Snowhorn, who's going to speak on behalf of Cyrus One, who's our host this time.
Oh, there was more. It's okay. We'll just go ahead and go to me now. That's better, right? So, guys, welcome to San Antonio. Appreciate you guys coming down to Texas. This is the 6th NANOG meeting I've actually hosted in my career. I was introduced to NANOG by Dan Golding, who's sitting down the end here. Thank you, Dan. Brandon Ross, Bill Norton introduced me to the community. I was big-eyed with no clue. I probably still don't have any clue, but I am here. And really appreciate being able to do this again. It's been important for all the companies I've been at, and I really enjoy supporting NANOG. Big thank to Mike Winslow. Mike, where are you? Stand up. His big bearded self there. Mike designed the t-shirt, really generous of him. Crazy alien cowboy. So Texas, 26.5 million people, second to only California. Anybody knew that? It's a big state. A lot of people live here. A lot of fiber runs through this state. 4 of the biggest cities in the U.S., including Austin, my hometown, just 70 miles north of here, San Antonio, Houston, Dallas. Fiber running between these 4 cities is absolutely massive. There's a huge amount of traffic, huge amount of corporations, content, routing traffic, everything you can imagine going between these cities. And we have our own power grid in Texas. I don't know if anybody knows that, especially people coming internationally. In the U.S., you've got an East Coast and a West Coast power grid. They're all connected. In Texas, we actually have our own power grid because I guess we think we're better than everybody, but definitely important. When you actually look at growth of the cities coming into Texas, number 4 biggest city in the country, Houston, grew by 11%. Number 7, San Antonio, grew by 21%. Number 9, Dallas, grew by 5.6%, but next door, Fort Worth, grew by 45%. And this is from 2000 to 2013. Imagine that. And number 11, Austin, grew by 31%. So if you're thinking about cities where you want to have growth and looking to deploy networks and do good things, these are definitely the places to go. San Antonio, definitely a cowboy town. There's no question about that. You drive right outside of here, you got people who are definitely driving big trucks, riding horses, wearing cowboy hats, big belt buckles. We've got Longhorns. You've got great history in Texas. It actually, and San Antonio used to be part of Mexico, so you have the Alamo and a lot of different of the missions around here. Riverwalk's pretty cool to see. I definitely recommend walking around. Little history of the Alamo, don't miss it. Hundreds of people passed away there when Santa Anna's troops attacked there. Only 20 women and children survived. So it's a pretty dramatic piece of history, including Jim Bowie, who else? Davy Crockett, some pretty amazing people who passed away there from American history. We've got presidents from Texas. And now all these presidents, you got Dwight D. Eisenhower, you got Lyndon Johnson, you got H.W. Bush, you got W. Bush, and that's Raz's baby crying there, in case anybody didn't know. I don't know how that happened. But really some amazing history to have 4 presidents from one state that came in here. We've got sports teams, so all kinds of pro football teams, the Texans, Cowboys, got the Rockets, the Spurs, the Mavericks, Dallas Stars. I forgot the baseball teams, Houston Astros and Texas Rangers, and a huge amount of university teams. Football is massive in this state. Friday Night Lights and all the shows you see, it's really true. People go crazy. You drive by towns, these little podunk towns with nothing in them, and there's a giant stadium where people go to games all the time. It's something to see and something to enjoy as you drive around Texas. We got Circuit of the Americas. For anybody who's a race fan, it's the only purpose-built Formula One track in the Americas. Absolutely spectacular. It's been running for 3 years. Hundreds of thousands of people come and fill up Austin. You can't get a hotel room. You can't get into a restaurant. You can't get into anything. It's absolutely amazing volume of people who comes. And it's really great. It's a 3-day show. It comes in the fall. It'll be going on for the next 7 years. We've got Texas musicians, so Stevie Ray Vaughan, Buddy Holly, Willie Nelson, Beyonce, Lyle Lovett, Roy Orbison, ZZ Top, Janis Joplin, Townes Van Zandt, Charlie Sexton, who's my neighbor, which is pretty cool. The Spasmatics, which you're going to see tonight, and I think you guys will really enjoy that. They're an 80s geek cover band, and I'm sure we all appreciate that, right? And on and on. So a lot of good bands here. We've got famous actors. You guys know all these people, right? So Joan Crawford, Ethan Hawke, Owen Wilson, Robin Wright, Gary Busey, Patrick Swayze, Sissy Spacek, Steve Martin, Matthew McConaughey, Woody Harrelson, Eva Longoria, who actually lives in San Antonio. You see her around sometimes. Sharon Tate, who unfortunately passed away from some serial killer guy. Tommy Lee Jones, Jennifer Garner, Shelley Duvall, and of course Farrah Fawcett. We all appreciate Farrah Fawcett, right? And of course Chuck Norris. Now Chuck Norris, we all know he can charge a cell phone just by rubbing it on his beard, and his jawbone is actually 100 terabit GBIC. Yes, it's true. And Corning has actually approached him to start harvesting his beard for new fiber optic cables. We've got Texas heroes. So Chris Kyle, American sniper, who unfortunately has passed away. We've got Chester Nimitz. There's a museum down in Fredericksburg. It's pretty amazing to go see that. But there's thousands and thousands of Texas heroes. Huge state, a lot of history in this country. We've got amazing companies in Texas. So AT&T, Neiman Marcus, Exxon, Southwest Airlines, Whole Foods, USAA, which is right here in Austin, the biggest building in North America, millions of square feet with their own zip code. Frito-Lay, Noble Energy, Dell, Rackspace, Halliburton, a lot of oil and gas, a lot of farming, industry, everything you can possibly imagine here. Thousands of companies, a lot of industry that drives North America and drives the world. But of course you want to hear about CyrusOne, right? That's the most important thing, guys? Yeah? Yeah, all right, good. So I'm not going to read this entire nosebleed slide, but this is very corporate. I have to present it in this manner as our September numbers, but we have 25 properties, 2.2 million square feet of building right now, 1.2 million in co-location square feet, and we can go up to 5 million square feet in all of our build-outs. One of the largest data centers in the country, incredibly successful, and absolutely the biggest in Texas, so we care about this state. I will be hosting every NANOG as long as I'm at CyrusOne in this state for the rest of time. Commitment, Betty. So, quick run through data centers. Our Phoenix data center, this will be over 1 million square feet at full build-out. San Antonio, we have 2 sites here, totaling 190,000 square feet, and we'll be able to go up to 300,000 square feet. Anybody wants to see it, we got a lot of staff here. Let me know. It's about 15, 20 minutes outside of town. Houston West, this campus at full build-out would be 1.1 million square feet. It's 700,000 now. This is the seismic processing oil and gas center of the world. Anything for gas, oil, anything you do in the world where it actually goes out and ends up being production later on takes place inside this building. It's pretty amazing to see. Our headquarters, you can see how many airplanes and space shuttles and funky football fields and everything else we can fit in that. 662,000 square feet up in Dallas. So these are massive facilities. Our brand new site up in Virginia in Sterling, we sold out almost everything as soon as we opened the door, go figure. This will be 400,000 square feet at full build out. It's about 130,000 now. And then my fun stuff that I get to run, which is the interconnection product inside CyrusOne. So we have a national IX product. What does that mean? We're basically acquiring a lot of interconnectivity services from our different carrier partners and kind of breaking the ecosystem of just being inside a single building or a single facility and tying stuff together. So using MPLS, Ethernet waves, whatever else, and just kind of exposing these big Fortune 1000s. We've got 141 in our facilities plus now, and they really don't understand how to get into the kind of telecom world that we're used to dealing with. Inside metros, like in Dallas, we actually have interconnected facilities using DWDM and edge switches, tying together our facilities into Infomart, Bryan, all the carrier hotels, and again, completely breaking the walled garden. It's just a cross-connect, and the ecosystem is open there right away for you. And of course, we have Patrick Gilmore's in cabinets, in a suit no less. Yes, you can actually get your own Patrick Gilmore if you come to Cyrus One. Pretty cool. So some peering meeting announcements. The America's Interconnection Summit is coming up April 7th through 9th, 2015 in San Diego. Welcoming you to attend. It's really a members-focused meeting for OpenIX. It's really the next step that OpenIX is taking to support the community and really support an open interconnection market. Inside the next event is a global peering forum coming up at the end of April. It's in the Bahamas. I'm sure everybody loves to go to the Bahamas as well. And that's really more of a customer-focused meeting hosted by all the data centers and exchanges, including Cyrus One and a bunch of other folks. Tonight, Spasmatics. Has anybody here seen the Spasmatics before? Great show, guys. So it's an 80s cover band. They're absolute total geeks. The show is funny. It's a great time. We have full open bar, top shelf bar the entire time. We've got barbecue. We've got Tex-Mex, which of course is necessary. It's about a block and a half away. So look forward to seeing you guys all night long, and should be a fun time. And that's it. I'll see you in Dallas in 2016 when we host again. Thank you much.
I was just saying thank you to Josh. It really is, it is really important for all of us, for me to be able to count on hosts like Josh and the hosts that we've had in the past to pull these meetings off. It's really important. Thanks, Josh. So I thought what I would do is change a bit of my update or my announcements to all of you at the start of the meeting by giving you sort of an update about what's happening at NANOG. And the first thing is, of course, a few important statements. You'll see some improvement in our signage and changes in terms of our relationship and presentation. I just want to call out the differences in that the premium sponsors that you'll see on your key card sleeves when you checked in, and on our signage, and sort of in our relationship with NANOG is critically important. Those sponsors that are diamond and platinum and gold sponsors help me deliver services to all of you. They actually pay for all the additional overhead that allows NANOG to grow and do additional services. So it keeps your registration fee down, and it allows us to grow. So please, please join me in thanking all of them for their continued support. The individual meeting sponsors are also very important, and for the first time we have 60 of them. So from the days when I first started at NANOG, when we had maybe 4, to say that we have 60 sponsors that feel that the return on investment in engaging in the limited way in which we do sponsorship is a true tribute to them as well. Their contribution also allows us to add a Tuesday lunch free of charge to all of you. First time ever that NANOG not only does breakfast every day, a Monday lunch. Because of those sponsors, we're also able to bring you a Tuesday lunch. So thank you to them. One of the other programs that I encourage you all to talk about and get engaged, because it'll be important to our future, is the difference between a NANOG conference that we host 3 times a year and this thing that you'll hear about called NANOG on the Road. We are increasing the number of NANOG on the Road one-day events, again, because of the investment that people are contributing and making in NANOG. We are able to take what we do here in 3 days to a one-day meeting to different Tier 2 type cities, and junior engineers who aren't able to make it to a meeting can experience the content that we enjoy here in 3 days. And we give them a full NANOG meeting in a one-day experience. So we're growing the internet, we're distributing and sharing greater information about how the internet operates globally. So NANOG on the Road, one day, think of a NANOG meeting and think of it in Orlando in a couple months and speakers there. So it really works because I can count on all of you to help promote inside of your companies where we're at to attend these one-day events. The big difference between a full 3-day meeting and what we do here in NANOG on the Road as well is the NANOG on the Road is free. So we partner with Aaron. There's some Aaron information as well, which is important if you're into needing to be aware of policy and the registry information, and then you have NANOG content. So help promote. If you have questions about what it is, you can come and find me, any of the board members, the staff, and we'll be happy to share the upcoming information. I'm going to take a moment here and skip over the college immersion program that's next on my slide and talk just a little bit about the fellowship program and what it means to be a member versus an attendee and a volunteer. And then I'll have Dave Temkin come back and talk about the college immersion program, which is a program that we've been working really hard to launch and announce. The fellowship program, I also need your help. Every meeting, NANOG has resources to send fellows, individuals who may not be able to get travel funding to come to an NANOG meeting. Online, it's really, really easy, and we support their attendance here. They have to fill out a little application. We do have a selection committee, so there is a review process. It's not just, send me a note and I'll give you a free attendance. But the fellowship program is really our attempt to facilitate and make it easier for folks who want to be a part of the community but may not have the resources to attend. So if you know anyone in your company or at your university or in the government arena that could benefit from attending an NANOG meeting, send them my way. We have fellowships that are being unused that we would love to be able to offer to those deserving. The membership versus attendee, it's my way of reminding everyone that both are important. There are a number of folks in our community that are attendees or on the NANOG mailing list that make up NANOG. They're really important, but I encourage all of you to also consider becoming a member of NANOG. The benefits of membership are it's really easy, and yet it's one of those important elements on your resume that I think is important because you help determine who serves on the board of directors, and you help guide this thing called NANOG if you're a member. So if you want to know more about what $100 will buy you or get you or the benefit of that, find me in the hallway and I would love to talk to you about it. And that's really the difference for those that are here for the first time, the difference between membership and attendee. You're both important. Attendee, I'm here to serve you, and you're part of the community. The membership, you get to decide versus your vote and using our name on your resume and all those kinds of things. Volunteers, NANOG has 2 staff. We have a big slate of activities and jobs, and we couldn't do it without the many volunteers. The board of directors, in a sense, are elected, but they're volunteers. The program committee are volunteers. We have a technical group that are volunteers. There are so many professionals in our community that volunteer their time to make NANOG work that I want to personally thank them as well. That's sort of my update. I don't want to bore you with a lot of other details and things that are going on, but I encourage you to find me in the hallway, send me a note. I would be happy to share and impart more knowledge and information with all of you. With that, I'm going to turn the mic over to Dave Temkin, who's going to outline what the college immersion program means.
Thank you, Betty. So, how many people in the room here have to hire people as part of their job? Okay, pretty big group of people. How many people here who hire people find that getting new people into the pipeline is increasingly becoming a bigger challenge? About the same group of people raised their hands. So, I'm Dave Temkin at Netflix. My job is to run the global network group. I also represent other people here, the board, as well as OpenIX and FLIX. But what I wanted to talk about was specifically the college immersion program. We have a group of 10 students here from the University of Colorado at Boulder, as well as an instructor, Kevin Epperson, who those of you may be familiar with. He's been a part of this community for a long time now. The students that we have here are part of both the telecommunications and comp sci programs. So, relatively broad brush of potential experience coming in. It's only 10. I had actually talked about this last October and said I wanted way more, and we do want way more. This is just the first test to see how it goes. Speaking of tests, these students are here to absorb the program and obviously absorb the networking piece of the overall program, not just what goes on here in the plenary. But their instructors are primarily responsible for, if you will, grading what the result is here. So us on the NANOG board and the rest of the NANOG staff are not necessarily driving a curriculum out of this. We feel that the best engagement can come from the people who are better equipped in higher education. I hope that by the June meeting, we'll be able to expand this to 20 students, potentially from multiple colleges. We picked UC Boulder because of Kevin's experience, but we're really excited. So the students are identified with an orange dot on their badge. And so if one of them should come up to you, you should feel free to please tell them how NANOG has helped you and how it's helped you grow. And if you see one of them, please go up to them, ask them questions, find out why they're, what they're engaged in and what they're learning about. The best thing that we can do as a community is provide a conduit so that when we all move on, when we go and do something else, there are people here to pick up the torch. So I'm really excited by this program, and those of you who want to talk about it more, I encourage you to come to the members' breakfast if you're a member, and we'll dedicate a little bit of time to it there. Thanks, Josh. On that note, this was your slide, isn't it? Anyway, so welcome new attendees, 171 newcomers. We've continued to up the bar meeting after meeting on the number of newcomers. Those 10 students are obviously accounted for in there. So welcome. As was mentioned earlier, we'll have a newcomers lunch. We've changed the format a bit over the last couple of these, so it's invite only. The regular lunch will be served as noted. Thanks again to our sponsors. So we've got all of our premium sponsors here, as well as individual sponsors for things like breaks and lunches and stuff like that. So specifically, obviously, thanks to our host, Josh. Thanks to Raj Khurana, who's going to come up here in a moment from AT&T, Comcast, Google, and the rest of the slate of premium sponsors. And on that note, I'd like to invite Raj Khurana to come up and say a few words. Raj was kind enough from AT&T to make sure that we have the phenomenal connectivity represented here, not only obviously by the key, which is the connectivity into the building, but as well ensuring that we can work with AT&T in the future to make sure that NANOG meetings are well connected. So, Raj?
Good morning, and welcome to Texas. I myself moved to Texas a couple of years ago from Garden State of New Jersey. And when Betty told me that I might have time to share a few words with you, I spent a week preparing view graphs, preparing talking points, and so I was all excited about being here and telling you about Texas. When I reached here from Dallas yesterday and opened up my laptop, I realized that my laptop had been hacked, and the charts and the talking points I prepared to share with you had been stolen. So obviously, as you can imagine, I didn't feel too good about it. And then, fortunately, just a few minutes ago, about 10, 15 minutes ago, I realized who the hacker is, or was. I mean, he's still here, and it is Josh. So that's why I don't have any charts to share with you. So sorry about that. So once again, welcome to Texas. And as you know, and as Josh indicated and Dave indicated, AT&T's headquartered here in Texas, in Dallas. And as a matter of fact, we look forward to welcoming you again at NANOG next year when it moves to Dallas. And AT&T is very proud to get an opportunity to provide, complimentary internet connectivity to you. And I look forward to meeting a number of you individually over the next 3 days of this conference. So welcome, have a good time, and hope your attendance here gives you a lot of personal, social, and professional kind of satisfaction. Welcome.
All right, thanks to all the introductory speakers we had, and now I just want to quickly see if I can hit the couple of slides that I missed right the way before. All Josh's good stuff. Animations, important info. Yeah, it's reverse animation. Chuck Norris on the T-shirt. Okay, so these were just some things. So you know that the folks that you want to talk to, if you have questions, concerns, comments, positive feedbacks, also welcome. These are the folks that you can find indicated by their badge, like if they have ribbons on the bottom. Board of Directors, the red, Program Committee are the white, Communications Committee, who handle the email lists and so forth, they're the blue, and then there's some staff out in the registration area. The NOC folks are out and past the registration desk and then take a left, and there's a room over there, room 19. And then press, there's, I think, 2, Betty said, press folks who are here. And so if you're chatting with someone with a pink ribbon, realize that. And I thought we had a slide about, oh yeah, here it is, need help. These are email lists that if you have some issue during the meeting, NANOG support goes to the support folks in the secretariat. Speakers, if you have a question or concern, send it to speaker support. If you have a question or complaint about the network, or you want to say something great, also send to NANOG Eng. Sponsors can get support there, and hotel info is that. I think that's it. So thanks.
This this slide is really important because so many of you know Betty at NUNOG or Betty at NANOG, whichever one it reaches me, is really great. It's nice to be appreciated and loved, but I'm probably the last person to get a quick response to you. So while you're here at the meeting, please take advantage of the wonderful resources that we have. If you have any questions at all, there's a whole group of people ready to help you at the end of these lists.
And do we have a ribbon for newcomers?
It's a label on their badge, so
Okay, a
you'll
label. So
be able to easily identify who's a newcomer.
Right, so if you see a newcomer, they probably, there's a good chance they know fewer people here. Go up and chat with them, find out where they're from, help them get the most out of NANOG.
Absolutely.
Okay, so thanks to the introductory folks. I think that's it for the introduction, and now we'll carry on with our first presenter. So this morning, we've got 3 different presentations that are all, I think, going to be very exciting about the future of the internet. So thanks to all of you.